up? I don't know if my mic's like crazy or not. But welcome back. So today we have no news. And here we are. So let's just go to the daily. Essentially, daily we're bearish, obviously. We actually just swept daily liquidity. Hold on. I didn't even notice that. I didn't notice it was daily liquidity. That might change things. Because if we just pull down towards this liquidity level, because over here, bro, hey bro, there's S&T divergence, bro. But we've actually just swept this liquidity here on both ends on the daily after pulling downwards, so we might be going upwards, to be honest, especially because we're bullish now on the daily. Or, gosh, we're bullish. So we're bearish on the daily and the 4 hour, but we're bullish on the 1 hour, 30-minute, and down. So that probably means on the daily we just swept this liquidity. Actually, we just swept here too. You see over here on ES, we swept the lowest low. We didn't like sweep up to this level right here. Came down here. Over here, we did the same, except to here, but essentially the same thing. And then on the 4 hour, we can see we're pushing past. Well, we haven't yet, but once it hits 9 o'clock, we would have inversed this gap. We did so on the 1 hour. Um, yeah, we're pushing into a 4 hour gap. But again, over here on the ES, we haven't even pushed into that gap yet. So even if you wanted to like even if you wanted to look for like a long or something in here, there is a 5-minute gap here. You see, I've already been looking in the window stuff. Sorry, my face cam isn't even pointing at me. It's because my setup's like moving. But like, if you wanted to, let's say price comes down here, wants to push into here, you could look for an entry, or probably somewhere within, like, to be honest, you would just want to do it like this, and then have it like to the down side, and then you wanted to go for a 1-to-1, could. I'd say a 1-to-2. But since we'd probably turn bearish on the 1 minute for that retracement, you would probably want to wait for a breaker structure back to the upside, and then you could enter like, oh, breaker structure here, put it to like right there, and just, boom. But yeah, now to be honest, motherfuckers trading on the 5-second time frame. Oh wait. Oh, looks like we're pushing hella. Hold on. We are pushing, bro. We are pushing. Currently, we have an SMT. Not an SMT, but kind of like. Well, I guess in some ways you could say this would be the SMT. But what I'm talking about, which that is valid, once these candles close, which would be at 9, and it's only 8:44, which very well could be real, could happen. Um, but here's the thing though: is higher time frame holds higher power. But again, this is something that Matthew was telling me from the Discord. And it's like, it's kind of stuck with me. He said, I think he said the higher the time frame, the longer the move. Essentially saying, if a move happens on the daily, like this liquidity sweep, it's going to take a very long time for price to actually move off of that because it's a daily liquidity sweep. One candle is a day, so for it to move, immediately you sweep liquidity and then it goes again. Just immediately goes up. That's not really that's unheard of because it's a daily candle, so it would take longer because it's on a higher time frame. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we can say, yeah, it's a daily liquidity sweep. We just gotta be looking more intraday. If that makes sense. But what I was trying to say about SMT is that one pair is inside this 4-hour gap and the other one is not. But I don't know how long it's gonna last because as you can see, ES is pushing. It's pushing it. Not to be honest, we could be like low key. We're kind of still bullet. Are we? Are we though? We could say so. It's just like, look at this sweep of liquidity. I don't know. Still haven't, but we're gonna. It's a matter of when, probably. But to be honest, yeah, see? Boom. So now, you kind of just have to see where else price wants to go. See, this is where it pisses me off, sort of, because, like, we just swept liquidity on the daily time frame, but we're also in this bearish move, and we're inside of a 4-hour gap, but we're pushing upwards, so I don't even know what to do, because we're literally bearish. We're pushing into bearish confluences, but we're just swept a bullish confluence on the higher time frame. Oh, shit's crazy work. Jeez. Jit tripping. So let's look at the 1 hour. We have this gap. The reason I say it like that is because I'm just kind of resetting my mind. Okay, well, we have this 1 hour gap getting tapped into. There's liquidity there. Still bearish. Clash stack 100. Motherfuckers. Honestly. Ranked twos? That's crazy. I might stay on the recording a little longer. Because I want to see what happens here. Because I don't know. Like here we're tapping in 50%, here we're just tapped into it. I don't know. And I've got to take a shit. See, that's why I'm like, okay, we see a big move. We're seeing displacement out of this gap, or out of this move. So yes, yeah, I think we're bullish for the day. To be honest. Because we see on the daily that we made this move. When did we make this move? We made this move on Friday, so this was multiple days ago. So it's had time to like marinate, quote unquote, and actually move forward, like I was saying earlier. And we can see our displacement out of this fair value gap. We can see it moving upwards, or out of this liquidity. So we can see it moving upwards. Now, just because we're in this gap doesn't mean that immediately makes us bearish, especially because we're bullish. We're bearish on daily 4-hour, and then we're bullish on everything else. What does that mean? That we're going upwards? Technically, that would mean, based off of definitions and technicality, it would mean we're on a retracement. But again, we just swept liquidity on this higher time frame, so we would have to wait for it. And it's not 9 o'clock yet, but if we get a inversion of this gap on the 4-hour, that would be something to note. And again, I said this earlier. I don't know if I said it, if it was recorded or not. This got inversed as well, this gap here. So, kind of just, I gotta take shit, bro. Hold on. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Boom. And then you just go boom. It was like shit. Damn. But we would be trading inside of a gap. I don't know. I gotta take a shit though, so 1 second. Bro, what? Bro, my chart was upside down, bro. You know, it's tweaking out. My chart was upside down. Look at this. You can turn it upside down. Yo, what in the hell? You can turn it upside down. And I was on my phone, and that happened. First of all, to do it, you have to do Alt-I. How would I do Alt-I? Phone, bro. I don't have a keyboard on my phone. By the way, it hit 9 o'clock. We did not inverse this gap. We did, inverse this one, though, obviously. Well, we didn't this one. Which could be a sign that we go lower, because that means we perfectly filled the gap. And then now look, we're pushing lower because we did not inverse it. And no inversion, because if, let's say we were bullish and we were going to continue higher, we would want to inverse the gap. But we did not inverse the gap, and you can see now we're not even pushing past it. We're actually going lower. So now this would constitute a short. Because again, we're still bearish on the 4 and the day. And we were on these. bullish on the rest though. Which, this is what I was saying earlier, and it makes sense. We're bearish on the daily and the 4 hour, but we're bullish on everything else. What does that mean? It's a retracement. We're bearish on the 4 hour. But we're bullish on the 1 hour. What does that mean? 1 hour retracement on the 4 hour. See, we haven't even pushed past. Not once. We're not even making any moves past it. Now on ES, you can see we've gone around to the 50%, and now we're starting to push lower. So this, we would have to see, now for this to be a confirmed, we would have to see maybe like an inversion of this gap here, something like that. We just have to kind of wait a second, see what happens. Yeah. If we get an inversion of this gap and a closure, then that would be pretty good. Because so far, we've actually gotten a break of structure to the downside, technically, on the 1 minute. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, if we start chopping. That's what it's starting to look like, which would be pretty annoying. But if we do get an inversion in this gap on the 5 minute, and then we already have break of structure on the 1 minute, that would probably be my confirmation, and then we would just need to look for entry. I think what I was doing before was using confirmation and entries as the same thing, which I think they can be, but yeah, they can be. But like a fair value, like let's say we like make a big candle right here, and then we inverse that 5 minute, that would create a fair value gap for us to enter off of, because we would tap into it, okay, perfect, boom, enter, go. The confirmation would be the inversion in this break of structure. And then our entry would be the fair value gap that gets created from that inversion. Now, we're just kind of like fucking around at the top of here, so we're probably going to be, we should have taken longs into this gap, because the reason you would be able to do that is because you have at ES right here, and you know ES hasn't even been in the gap yet, and you know we still need to fill it at least to the 50%. So what we can do is we can find longs entries, which, where would that be? There really isn't one. The only entry was like right here. But that's a little risky, because at this point we've already, tapped into the gap, and here we're already at the 50%. Here we know we're going to go up a little bit, but not crazy. So if we enter here and go, what, to the, like right here, go to for a 2-to-1, yeah, it would have hit. A 1-to-1 also would have hit. No. But that's like the only entry. There's one here too, but like, we're already up there. You know what I'm saying? Like right here. We also could get an inversion over here. That would be good. Is there any, like, I'm trying to see if there's something that would give us more confirmation, but there really isn't. Good, good, good. I like this. See, this is what I'm talking about. Look, fair value gap's going to get created. We're going to inverse this gap, and then we can wait for an entry right here, put it to the top of these highs if we want, and then go for a, to be honest, that's insane. Not going to lie. I'd probably put it to these highs, not those. And then go for a 2-to-1 right there, like that. After this gap. See, I'm so used to using the same color stuff
when I'm backtesting that I just completely forget about the fact that I have templates. That kind of shows you how useless they are. Oh, we inversed it. Did we inverse that?
We did, baby. Let's go, baby.
Now we just need to wait for that entry to get tapped over to 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 24 to 500 divided by 24 is 500 divided by 24 is around 20 contracts. Bam, baby. Don't like that. But it don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. But we do have a large wick on the 1 minute. It's a little sketchy. It's a little sketchy, don't you think? That is a little sketchy. That is a little sketchy. I do not like that. I don't like that, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. Like, I don't like that. Probably like 21. That is a little sketchy, and I don't like it. But yeah, cause why did we just make a wick on the? That's a little. That's a little sketchy, Chad. That's a little sketchy. But we did do the same thing over here. So I mean, we could. See, now it's being a little sketchy. Because now we have this wick. Yeah, we didn't sweep it, but we did over here. That's an S&T. You see what I'm saying? Now, I would like to go for this. But price is being a little weird. See? Like, especially after we see this push upwards. Yeah.
No, not there, not there. Let's look for something else.
We did get an inversion, though. Are we gonna get like a resweep? Are we gonna resweep over here and then not over here? That would create a bearish S&T, which then would show. See, right now ES looks better to trade on because it actually is showing that we're short, that we're tapping into the gap and going lower. Over here, it's like we just inversed this one and then we came up here way past it. I don't know, it just looks a little sketchy. And we just like made a large wick, went upwards randomly, and then now we're going down. Like what? Yeah, you see these wicks? That's really sketchy. Like, I don't know.
Maybe a resweep or something. But also, here's the thing: is that basically since 9 o'clock we haven't tapped outside of the gap. So if we do it again, hopefully the only reason that we would is to sweep that gap or sweep that liquidity. And then hopefully that makes a, yeah, it's a 1 minute S&T, but it also could be a 5 minute.
See, we go to sweep on the 5 minute. That would be boom, SMT, boom, not SMT. Or, you know what I mean. See? That's a good thing I didn't take the trade. That was sketchy. Okay. I'd have to see a move, though. I'd have to see something happen off of this liquidity sweep, though. Because we don't know if we're going to make displace out of it. We're going to displace upwards and push past it, or we're going to sweep it and displace downwards. He said he's in a trade. Did he? I'm in a trade. Come watch. He said 4 minutes ago that he's in a trade. He said at 9:11. Right here, he said he's in a trade. So he's going for longs, I'm assuming. Now, if we push past this gap, if we push past this liquidity level, okay, yeah. Look over here on SMT, or on here. We have SMT over here. Yeah, it's just a 1 minute, but here, let's go to the 5 minute then. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. That's good, that's good. Like to see that. We like to see that. Now, we would have to wait for it to close. And we have to wait to see. This is just a possibility. But it would go hand in hand with the fact that we did not inverse the gap. We tapped right below it. Now again, if we just displace above the gap, or again, I keep saying gap, I mean liquidity here. If we displace above it and just we just ignore this liquidity sweep here on both ends, and we just keep going, then yeah, we'll go for longs. Unless there's like something up here, which there is, but that's if this doesn't do anything, then this isn't gonna do anything. So I wouldn't be worried about that. See? Just keep waiting, just keep waiting. Dude, Matthew Loki helped me. I feel like this is what it is for everything. And it makes sense. Just like, even in like video games, like the more professional you get in a video game, the more logical you just have to think. And it's just, you have to think so logical to the point where it's like let's say in Fortnite, you just, like you're in a build battle, and you just got a shotgun hit on him, and you know that he just used a med kit, and you know that he has 4 other weapons, and that he just used his med kit. That means he has no other heals left, and he has only weapons. So that means you're at the advantage, because you still have heals, he doesn't, so that means you're at an advantage at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so you know that you need to push in, I don't know, it's hard to explain when I don't play Fortnite. I guess this is the way to put it. The better you get at something, the more detailed your logical thinking needs to be. It's like there's levels. There's basic logical thinking, and then there's like expert logical thinking. And it's literally just logic. And it's just basic common sense. Well, I guess to a point, it's not common. It's uncommon sense at that point, which is what gets people. See, like yeah, like look, now we tapped into this gap, have a large wick. We still aren't going. That means we're kind of hesitating. That means we're hesitating to put. Yeah, that means we're hesitating to push past this liquidity level, which means we may even still go lower. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, it's just logical. Like, okay, we see the fact that price wants to push past it. We can see that we tapped into this confluence and this gap, and that we have a large wick, and we want to push past it, but we aren't, which means there's something keeping it from pushing past. You know what I'm saying? Now, eventually, it may break past, and that means that we broke past that barrier, and that we are long now. Take longs. Damn, it's been 20 minutes since 9 o'clock. That's crazy. No way. Time just flew by. That's crazy. See, look, now we're pushing downwards. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Now we have a 5-minute SMT to the downside. Now let's say this candle, boom, drops a little bit, makes more displacement. That means we would get a gap. Never mind. I was gonna say that means we would have gotten a gap here. Good entry point. We would have had to get more confirmation, probably on the 5-minute or something. But right now the 5-minute's looking a little gay. We still have SMT divergence. The candle did close, which confirms it, unless this candle pushes past. Which, oh, we might, because now we just pushed outside of the gap again. Oh, we're doing this thing where we go down and then up and then down and then look, there's that wick. It may be too late to trade, which honestly I'm fine with, because this is a little weird. We could have taken longs. We literally, honestly could have taken longs, but there's only a few entries I see. Like I said earlier, this one right here. There's one right here. This shit after this right here, that's a little weird. There's really nothing else. There's only like 2 entries. The best one would have been this one right here. And then there's one right after it, but like that one's also a little weird because we would have been up to here, and now we come down, tap, yeah. Yeah, see, now we're kind of just chopping at the top of this gap. I think there's gonna be no trade today, and I'm glad that happened, and that I know that that's a thing that I need to not do, because that means I'm getting better at trading, and I know when to not trade, which I'm fine with. And honestly, I might not even trade now. Because, bro, look at this price action in the past, like, 5-6 minutes. I just went the whole episode without doing that. That was the first time I did that. Oh. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yo. Hold on.
I could well be trading, because I'm risking 2k a trade. I could easily use NQ. You know what, Oscar? You've actually said something really fucking intelligent for, a viewer of this stream. You've actually said something of high IQ. I mean, talking about the average, you've exceeded the average IQ of anyone else in this stream by saying that. You've actually given a good, some good insight, some helpful stuff. So I actually
guess
thank
he's
you.
taking a
Oscar Winterbone. Yeah, you know what? I probably will use fucking
I think he took
NQ
a
from now
long,
on. Fuck it.
but I can't tell because they're both red. I think this is where he took the trade.
Stay
Right there.
hard, motherfuckers.
And then that was
Will
his
we
TP up
inverse?
there.
Inverse.
Which taking a
Inverse.
trade there, that's nice.
Inverse.
But there's no reason.
Don't piss me off, bro. Nah, I'm not even gonna say it.
Let's remove there. There he is. Hey, bro. What do we see? What do we see? Movement downwards. Nice. Love to see it. We'll love to see it. We broke structure. We have not broken structure yet. We have about 40 seconds until then. Excuse me. We still have this 5-minute SNT. So again, we just have to wait. We just have to wait. Patience is virtue. If something happens right now, then there could be a trade. But if nothing like crazy happens, then I'd be fine with not taking a trade. Because that literally is better than not, than losing. Especially at the point that I'm at now. If I won right now, that would put me at 59.8, so I'd be back around break even.
Hey bro, entry, 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 entry. Nice. Push past it. Here, get rid of this shit. We don't need that. ES probably looks dog. Not really. It looks a little weird. I'm not gonna lie.
This right here is why you don't trade on ES. You always trade on NQ no matter what. No matter the S&T, no matter anything. This is lagging. Okay, don't trade on it. Still trade on NQ.
You know? Like, see, we need to see some kind of like maybe a small retracement upwards, so then we can, because right now this is break of structure, but if we move up just a little bit to create a green candle and then we continue lower, that would create a break of structure here. And again, like I've said before on my videos, there's been a lot of trades that I've taken, especially at the beginning of my funded career, where a lot of my trades were at 10 o'clock. And right now it's currently 9:30, so.
Just keep waiting, just keep waiting, just keep waiting. Bro, did you guys see the new,
Yo. Hold on. Yo. Oh my gosh. I think I just got a text message about going on to do some hurricane stuff on with insurance adjusting, and that would be pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, because that's independent, which means I'd be making commission off things, which means I'd be making who knows how much money. Just depends. That's good, but here's the thing: is right now I'm working at Discount Tire, so if something like that were to happen, I'd have to be like, okay, I have to take a break for a while. Some things have come up that I need to attend to. Yo, when was that though, deadass? That was 8 minutes ago. Wait, they called me? Oh my gosh, they did call me. I didn't even notice.
Yo.
We've got about 1 minute to the next 5 minute candle. Like I said, boom, here we go, right here. It is looking a little weird, as you can see. Price actions looking a little weird, we kind of chop right here, come back down all the way, and then we come back up, create an SMT divergence, have a wick. Oh, we go back up, now we're coming back down. And then this gap, now we're coming back up to a point that there's literally nothing here, maybe on the 32nd, and now we're starting to go back down. Looking a little zesty, I'm not gonna lie. But, nevertheless, looking, yeah, and then now we're like tapping into this gap. Oh, this is an entry, like, bro. Honestly, I don't think there's gonna be a trade today.
And I may just need to walk away.
Just to, you know,
myself away from it. Hold on. I need to, I'm gonna pause. I need to take a call. Alright, champ. First of all, you see this? Guys, look. The Battlefield 6 open beta is out. But sorry, somebody in my Discord is not arguing with me. He's not arguing. He's just replying to what I said, and I basically was saying that break evens are not wins. When people say break evens are wins, they're wrong because a break a win is a win. It hits your TP. If you're getting out at break even, that means you know the trade's gonna lose, or that market is so bad that you cannot get your TP, so you go break even. But majority of the time, it's the fact that it's a bad trade and you go break even. But saying that that's a win, he was saying that the reason people say that is because you're saving your capital when you go break even. Obviously, but saying that it's a win, it's not a win. You're just getting out of it's a bad trade. You're just getting out at break even. Like if it was a good trade, then it should be going in your favor. If it's not going in your favor and you get out at break even, then that means it's a bad trade and you just got out at break even. Like let's say you get out at break even and then 10 seconds later it hits your stop loss. That's not a good trade. That's not a win. You just got out at break even and got lucky because you wanted to fucking leave the trade. Anyways, I did not take a trade. I did not end up taking a trade. Um because I almost did. Like right here, you see this gap, but ended up not because I was on the phone, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna, especially because I just said I'm not gonna take a trade. I'm not gonna randomly take a trade off nothing. And good thing I didn't, because that would have been a horrible idea. And at this point, there's no taking trades. Even here, like this is a little gay. Like getting a trade somewhere in here is like, no. The only trades really were over here. The only possible, I don't know what I was saying. What I was trying to say was there's only like two entries, one right here and one right here for longs into this gap. But this is at market open. Like here's market open right here. Boom, going up, tap. I almost took this one right here, or no, these two. Sorry, not this. This one right here. There's a gap here. Taps into it like literally barely, and then it goes up right here. There's another gap right here. Taps into it. I'll answer it in a second. But I just wanted to continue the video here. Just it's like a post-market analysis kind of, but you guys were there the whole time, so it really doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, obviously we can tell I was right. Honestly, everything I said was right. We can see we're just kind of chopping down to the point that I was saying. Yeah, we didn't close. We didn't inverse the gap. We still had that. We had that 5-minute bearish SMT, and we are now going lower. So I mean, yeah, I was right. There wasn't any good entries. I'm telling you, bro, I learned a lot. I learned a lot over the weekend, and I'm gonna learn a lot this week. But yeah, I mean, that's really it for the video. Nothing crazy, just something light, just a no news Monday. Sometimes those are choppy, as we can tell. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm probably gonna start slowing down on the streams. I didn't do one today. I probably will start stopping them until they're not needed. But like, I'm gonna start doing them again on YouTube, not Kick, when I do them. But I'm gonna start stopping so I can kind of focus on my trade and focus on doing my trade. And I'm gonna start, I guess, doing videos kind of like this now. Because it just gives a lot more um value in the streams. I feel like, and you can just watch them and study them and stuff. But yeah, I mean that's basically it. I will see you guys tomorrow for tomorrow's trade. There is let's see. Oh, volatility now. Trump, I will be substantially raising the tariff paid by India to the US. India is buying Russian oil, then selling much of it on the open market. India is not only buying massive amounts of Russian oil, they are then, for much of the oil purchase, selling it on the open market for big profits. They don't care how many people in Ukraine are being killed by the Russian war machine. Because of this, I will establish the raising tariff. Interesting. Let's start longing oil futures. Crude oil futures on the Indian market. Let's start shorting the yen. Or what do they use in India? Not yen. They use something else. Rupees, I think. The Indian rupee. Yeah, they use rupees. But yeah. I mean, that's it for today's video. I will see you guys tomorrow. We have... Okay, I didn't even check news. Tomorrow we have PMI. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I will see you guys then. Peace.